Assault Mode, an art type that hasn't been viable since like 2019 or whenever it was initially released into Duel Links. But Konami decided to give us a brand new Assault Mode skill. Now when I first saw this skill, I got really excited, as I thought it was going to be kind of like Flua 2.0, and that you can just stuff this skill into basically any deck and it'll just sort of improve it. But as it turns out, it doesn't really work that well. And when I tried stuffing into a whole bunch of archetypes, they just ended up still feeling kind of shitty. But there is one archetype that has excelled really well thanks to this skill. Let me show you. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder before I get into the deck list, if you guys are enjoying today's video and want to see some more content just like this in the future, or more deck lists to me in the future, please do remember to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Alright, let's jump into this deck list. So for this list, there really isn't that much for me to go through, considering basically everything in here is old cards you've probably seen before, excluding the brand new 2 cards that Konami just added in the new deck build box. Starting us off with, you got your Stardust Dragon Assault Mode. This card is really good. It is an Omni-Negate that keeps recurring itself every single turn. It works very similar to how Stardust Dragon works, in negating just destruction effects, only this time it negates all effects. It's an Omni-Negate. So your Omni-Negate goes to the graveyard, and at the end of the turn, you can put it back on the field again. So, really strong card. Then we have the new starter for the deck, which is your Assault Sentinel. This card basically a tribute on the field, get a hold of your Psy Reflector, and that goes into your full combo, which you'll see during the gameplay portion. Now this deck, the main downside of it is a 2-card combo deck, meaning you do need to open both your starters. You need your Psy Reflector, and you need a copy of your Soul Resonator, which is why you'll notice this deck has like a lot of searching in it. We've got 3 copies of your Resonator Cool, 3 copies of Tenki, which can search for the new starter. We've of course got your Crimson Gaia, and 3 copies of both your starters. So that's the main downside of it, but thankfully the skill does have like a pseudo mulligan thing, where you can take 2 cards in your hand, put them back in the deck, and then draw 2 cards, as long as you reveal an Assault Mode card. So that's not the main downside of it. Otherwise, the end field is really cool for this. You'll see during the gameplay portion, what this sets up is essentially 2 Omni-Negates, one of which is completely immune to all card effects, and if your opponent tries to activate like a Book of Eclipse or something at the start of the turn, it won't affect your field whatsoever. This deck is immune to Book of Eclipse, which is really awesome to see. And yeah, that's basically it for the deck list. So without further ado, let's check out some gameplay. Alright, today I've got 4 replays to share with you guys, which is more than enough to showcase exactly what this deck can do. Alright, let's get into it. So, of the replays, you guys that are wondering of the games I played with it, the amount of losses I only had 2 games that I lost, and those 2 games were just games where I didn't open the full combo, one of which I even misplayed in, so I probably could have won that game as well. So this deck feels really good. Is it better than just playing a pure version of Resonator, which is already quite good? Probably not. It might be about the same, honestly. It feels really strong. The main downsides are, like I said, it's a 2-card combo deck, so it's really hard to play a lot of tech cards. And also, obviously, it's a 2-card combo deck, so you actually have to open the 2 cards. But otherwise, feels pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna use the Crimson Gaia, searching for a copy of the Soul Resonator. Normal summoning, the Psy Reflector. Searching for the Assault Beast can then discard itself to search for a copy of Assault Mode Activate. Psy Reflector revealing the Assault Mode to revive, making this card level 7, so when the little box appears on your screen, choose the 3 option, you're just adding levels to it basically. To make the level 8, level 8 is going to summon back the tuner from graveyard. Soul Resonator, searching for the Bone Archfiend, Boner, discarding a card, summoning itself. I actually could have discarded this card, I couldn't have because of never mind, ignore me. Alright, this card, sending a card to the graveyard, sending the Vision, searching for a Scarlet Security. Normally you'd be searching for a copy of the Fiendish Golem or a copy of Crimson Gaia, but because I had both, I just grabbed this. Alright. Making the Scarlight and ending the turn. So this field looks really weird, because you're like, huh. You've ended on no disruption currently. You have 2 level 8s, and a random tuner on field. The only disruption currently is this 1 Fiendish Golem, and the Assault Mode. So it looks kind of funny. But what this field actually does is, well, you'll see it in a minute. So my opponent, I think, is about to activate Book of Eclipse. Spoiler alert. Yeah, Book of Eclipse. So as soon as it's activated, we're going to chain the Stardust Dragon. We attribute itself, summons out a Stardust Dragon, and then does a Synchro Summon using the other 2 monsters on the field to make a Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, which is an Omni Negate that is unaffected by card effects. The Stardust Dragon is also unaffected, so the Book of Eclipse you'll notice did literally nothing. My field ignored it completely. And we have the Assault Mode activate to tribute the Stardust for the big Stardust, which you'll see in just a second. So 2 negates, a Fiendish Golem, and yeah, we're immune to Book of Eclipse. So nice little infield. Also, because we summoned this card, you will get to summon out a RDA from the extra deck, which you'll see. And if my opponent had a monster on the field here, that would also be destroyed as well, because that's just what this card does. So it's a board nuke, 2 Omni Negates, and you've got your trap card to banish a card. So, very strong infield. Huge fan. I haven't come across many Kaijus or Lava Golems yet, so I'm not really sure how well this deck does into that, but yeah, against like stuff like your Eclipses, even sometimes Droplets, you can have a fairly decent-ish field. It's not that great to Droplet because they just negate this card, but you can sort of like chain traps to it and try to dodge it that way. Alright, he's going to use this thing, we're going to negate it. I believe he tried to use... Oh, never mind. Fiendish Golem, me banishing this card. Gosha comes back. He actually played through this field quite well, actually, but obviously it wasn't quite enough. I did have a lot of stuff on field. The Assault Mode comes back. Oh, they negated the Assault Mode, my bad. Crimson Guy, adding back from Graveyard. I can do basically whatever I want here. I think I just made the Bane, yeah, Bane. Vision Resonate, searching for the Crimson Gaia. Boner discarding, summoning itself back, swinging in, putting it face down so it doesn't gain the attack boost, or it still does but it's in defense, so it doesn't matter. Hit him in the face, and he is dead. Alright. Game number 2. So, yeah, this endfields are really good. It's a little bit concerning going second, but the skill does have, like, just like most modern skills nowadays, a little bonus for going second where it puts a card on the field for you, which is quite nice. Because you can obviously just put the big red dragon, whatever it's called, straight on the field at the start of the game. Which is very... It's something your opponent really has to deal with, otherwise you might search for the tuner monster, put the tuner on field, make the Omni Negate, and that will try and nuke the field as well.
Duel!
Alright, so I believe this is another going second replay. I think I only recorded one going second replay, so I think most of these are going first. Yeah, I think going second you're gonna have a much harder time, but going first you're fine. It's a little bit sus against like Effect Veiler and stuff, but even with Effect Veiler you still end on at least the level 9 negate in the trap card, I think. Didn't have many people doing it on me, but I think that's what you end on. Alright, searching for the Boner. Boner gonna be discarding, putting himself on the field, increasing the level, setting to the graveyard. Searching the Crimson. Crimson gonna be searching for the trap card. Making the Scarlet, setting the Staff and ending your turn. Yeah, I think in the first replay I didn't put this in defense, but you really should. So Dark Hole, once again, we don't care about it. So even if my opponent had like a Droplet or something, we can always activate something like the Fiendish Golem, targeting our own card, then chain the thing, so if my opponent didn't discard a trap card, we can sort of dodge Droplet as well. Even now, we didn't even necessarily have to use the Assault, well, I was going to use the Assault Mode here, but you can sort of separate out the Assault Mode, so if your opponent had like a Droplet, you can't really do much to this field because this card's unaffected, then we could use like the Assault Mode to swap this out later on or something. I don't know. I'm just yapping at this point. Searching the security, nuking the field, and yeah, we just absolutely rolled. Alright, final 2 replays. I'm kind of curious how the Utopia matchup goes with this, because I haven't really played against that many of them, considering like the most popular deck on the ladder. Hopefully it's not too bad. I think Lava Golem is probably going to be an issue. But at least if they tribute off, like, the Scarred, you still get out... Like, you still revive out a monster, I guess. I think if anything happens to the, to this card, you're probably not going to have a very good time. Yeah, wherever he is. This dude. If anything actually happens to this, you're not going to have a good time. So Kaijus and Lava Golem might be a little bit suspicious. I don't even know what this guy set up. I think he set up a really bad endfield, but it was just an example going second replay, so I saved it anyway. Fast forward his turn a little bit. So I don't think he had a very optimal turn. Oh yeah, I also wanted to show off something else in this replay in particular. Because I'm currently playing the bad assault mode, the big guy here. But there is some cool things you can do with it, which is why I'm playing it. You probably don't need to play it though. In all honesty, this card's like a bit of overkill, but It does some cool things going second, which is why I'm trying it out at least. You don't need to run this card. Alright, drop Blitz sending to the graveyard to negate the effect. Reviving the Scarred, or Scarred revives, or summons out this dude. You notice too I used Tenki there to search for the Assault Mode card, which is why we're playing it, it's just next Researcher. It's also really nice because Tenki can be sent to the graveyard for the Boner later on. Hope you guys didn't hear that. God, the goddamn car noise. Alright, Psyreflector searching the Assault Beast. Assault Beast discarding, searching for the Assault Mode activate. Psyreflector going to be reviving. Making the Excel. Excel revive, these two make your 9, your Abyss. Searching for the Synchron. Boner going to be discarding or sending the Tenki to the graveyard like I said earlier. Making it level 4. Grabbing the Fiendish, setting that, making the level 8. And Battle Phase. So in Battle Phase, I swing into his card. I believe he searches for a Kite-Roid here. And of course, because a card was destroyed, our Crimson Gaia can revive out the RDA. And now what's cool about this is, because I actually show this in any other replays because you're normally saving the trap card for the opponent's turn. But in this case, because the skill lets you, you could actually use this Assault Mode on the turn that you search for it. So right now, I could, even though he's got a Kite-Roid in hand, even if he had like a Sphere Karibo on top of that Kite-Roid, I could swing with all 3 of these, swing with this card, then use Assault Mode activate to swap this out for the big Assault Mode for yet another swing. And if you had a ton of monsters on field, that card also is a board nuke as well that destroys everything on the field, and ours will be protected because we have the Soul Resonator in Graveyard. So it's also a board nuker as well. It makes it really easy to finish games basically, but it's kind of overkill, you don't need to run this card, but this is an example showing off where you could summon it, for example. But yeah, he just conceded here, because even with the Kite-Roid he was dead on field, without me swapping into this. Alright, last replay I think? Yeah, last replay. And this shows off the Raigeki effect of the board nuking thing on your, during your opponent's turn. I don't think I showed that off in the other 2 replays yet. The other 2 going first replays. Yeah, I'm not sure how this deck would do in tournament play, but in ladder play, if you want to reach Cog with this, it will take you like 2 seconds. This deck is really good for ladder. In terms of against actual tournament players though, God knows if it's actually good. Probably not that great. Although I do like how resilient it is to things like Droplet and Eclipses, so maybe if it's not too bad into Lava Golems, which I haven't tested yet, then it'll definitely be alright. I think the Lava Golem issue might be too much for it. I guess Speedroid doesn't play things like that, so, and Speedroid's pretty popular in tournaments too, so maybe it is alright. Alright, you see I discarded the trap card here, because I can actually search for it with the Crimson Gaia. Alright, making the Scarred, and setting the stuff. Alright, so he puts this dude on field, puts this guy on field, uses this. I'm now going to do the board nuke before he gets the guy in hand or my Omnia Gates on field. So making the Abyss, making the other guy, and this is of course going to pop the cards. Alright, gonna use the Assault Mode to swap this out now. Could have saved this till a bit later, but I kind of wanted to have this card out in case he tried to use the Levianeer in hand at some point, since the negate has to be from, yeah, in hand. I guess the Stardust Dragon also technically just negate it by itself anyway, because it is just a negate and destroy. Or negates destroy effects. Nukes his field, summons out a card from deck, Crimson Gaia gonna be signing back. Be careful when using this Crimson Gaia effect, because of if you use the Stardust Dragon Assault Mode to negate something and it goes to the graveyard, you might at some point during your turn have 3 cards on field, or have the option to summon back something like this, or summon back this with the Crimson Gaia. And if you do so, it might lock up all 3 of your zones, which prevents this card from resummoning itself to the field, obviously. So be a little bit careful when using this. I think even in one of the earlier replays I did it, but I got lucky because my opponent removed one of the cards. Alright. Borrow Link, he's just going to dump some stuff, grab a Disruptor. Use the Quick Launch, we're going to negate this. He has a Droplet, but yeah, of course, this card is unaffected right now, so he's only really going to deal with the Assault Mode. This is an example though, if I kept the Trap card set, he only would have negated the Stardust Dragon, and I could have swapped it out for the Assault Mode and kept this up as well. Alright, summons a Levianeer, but we don't actually even care about this because, of course, we've got Soul Resonator and Graveyard as well to defend from destruction. Yeah, the N1 feel for this deck is actually crazy good. I'm just a bit worried about going second, and some of the like low tech options is kind of a bit sus considering I only have 3 droplets as my tech options in here. There are some cards you can cut, like the level 1 that you could search for, which is the reason I'm playing it is because of going second, you put the 8 on field, summon that little level 1 tuner, make the level 9 Omni negate at the start of your turn, basically. But I don't even know if you even need that level 1, so you can probably cut it and play like a Cosmic Cyclone or something. And you can also cut the big RDA, like I said, and play, I don't know, something else instead of that as well. So a couple more options, but other than that, yeah, that's basically it for this deck list. If you guys enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, with that kind of stuff. And yeah, I might try out Gusto tomorrow, so look forward to potentially a Gusto video as well. Thank you guys for watching. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob? Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis. Oh.